I'm Jeremy Hill. I'm from the Justin Journal, and with us, who we have today is Cooper Luckenhouse, who is a just a random, almost junior at Northwest ISD. We just picked a random kid out, and we said, "Hey, let's go talk to him." So, with us today is Cooper Luckenhouse. So, Cooper, why are we talking to you today?
Yeah, this past weekend in Eugene, Oregon, I ran the 800 at USA's, which is a very big meet. Qualify for World Championships, which is where the best, the fastest of the fastest track athletes run. So I just ran 142 and got second in my race, which qualifies me for that meet. But it's also the fourth fastest time in American history and 18th fastest world.
Isn't that crazy? Uh, you've probably been saying it the last couple of days, but is that crazy to say? Is that crazy to think?
It's definitely crazy to say. I don't know if I'm really like there's words to describe it still. It's been a few days. It was just awesome though.
So looking back to this past year, obviously last year, I hate to say it, your freshman year in high school, you won the U.S. I guess you went undefeated in the 800, if I remember correctly. You won the Texas UIL 6A state title. You followed it up with a couple other races that you won, and there obviously was some hoopla around you. Coming into this year, what was your expectations?
Obviously, the number one thing that me and my coach always say is to have fun. As soon as things don't become fun, it's there's something going wrong. Which I feel like that should be for everybody, not even just on the sports side, but just in life. But just just trying to win as many races as possible is the main thing. But also just trying to run the fastest times I could.
So looking at the fastest times you could, looking back all the way back to the indoor season and Milrose games, right? I believe that was your first kind of marquee
Mhm.
race. You raced against a couple of the people that you raced with this past weekend. What was the difference?
The difference was I was just more confident in myself. Milrose was the first time I raced professionals, so it was a little nerve wracking just getting out there and racing the best around the world. But kind
Mm.
of going now into this past weekend where I've won some more bigger races compared to freshman year, but also just being more confident. I think I gained a lot of confidence from freshman to sophomore year. So I think that was the biggest thing.
And I think you've talked about another other podcasts and other interviews regarding the difference between going to a high school um, event and going to a professional event. Can you speak to that? What the difference is for you?
Yeah, that's definitely different for sure. Obviously, the racing is very different when you're racing professionals who they get paid to do this.
Mm.
That's their job is to run as fast as they can and try to beat as many people as they can. High school, it's just a little different because, well, obviously you're not getting paid first of all, but also it's more for fun. I feel like in high school, and
Mm.
then it's kind of when you get to that college professional side when it kind of starts becoming your actual job.
So the last 6 months, right, from Milrose to today, like it's been a pretty hectic, like I'm assuming tornado in your world, right? Like obviously running, kind of what you do, it's kind of what you're good at. You love it, obviously, we can all tell. But like, how has that like upended your world last couple of months?
Yeah, it's definitely opened a lot of opportunities for me. Uh, I think so that's what sports are for. They open doors that you maybe thought weren't possible. But it's also been really fun to just see different pathways you could take, especially after Milrose. I felt like I kind of saw some openings to things that maybe would be something I'd wanted to do. So yeah,
6 months ago, going back to Milrose, or even before that, you probably had been interviewed a couple of times after the state championship, maybe before the Nike championship. Like, has the last 4 days doubled the amount of interviews that you've had?
yes, definitely. After the race, after the final when I got second and made the team, it was pretty hectic. Especially these past 2 days. Today's been kind of more, which is kind of crazy to say, but yeah, the past 2 to 3 days have been very just, I guess you could say almost draining, just
Hmm.
because there's so much going on.
Right.
But it it's definitely different. I've had interviews before freshman year after the state meet and some of those bigger races I won, but I don't think it will compare ever to this past week.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I don't know if you've actually gone out there, but I went to do some searches, right, in regards to like the Google Analytics and stuff. The name Cooper Luckenhouse was at 0% until like June 9th and then June 22nd. And then, oh my God, in August, it just exploded. So I'm assuming that you're feeling that as well, right? Like people who didn't know who you were a week ago absolutely know who you were today.
Yes, I definitely think that's just from those big races,
Mm.
obviously, because social media is such a big thing now that whenever somebody does something pretty impressive, that's always going to get out. And then obviously that just comes with interviews and all the things like that.
I know that you've mentioned that like you just want to have a lot of fun, and I get all that. But could you have ever imagined being not here talking to me because oh my God, but like all the conversations you've had, the fact that you're now saying that under you 18 world, like was that something that you ever like went even in the back of your head? Obviously, winning or passing the U.S. high school record was an amazing feat, right? It was 145.86 or 146.
146.86
Yeah.
or 46.45, 46.
And then you beat it once and then you beat again at 145.45. But like, did this ever come in? Like, have you had conversations about what would happen if you came in second? Or is it like now all of a sudden everything's just blown up?
Yeah, obviously, like middle school time, I didn't expect anything from it. I ran track. I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
I was pretty good at it in my eyes, but I didn't think it would blow up like it has, especially from freshman. That freshman year, it really blew up, and then this sophomore year, it blew up more than I thought it actually could.
Right, right.
So it's definitely been different for sure, but it's also been pretty fun.
So let's go to like not the heat, but the actual semifinal. And obviously, you wouldn't be in your situation if that stumble would have taken you out, right? Because I know that you came in second. But I think it actually shows a lot of, what we would say gumption in some areas to, not fall, number one. Number two, get up and finish that 400 in a time to be able to put yourself in a situation to get there. So like what was going through your head? Oh my God, I just stumbled. Like, did you look up and think they were gone? Like what was going through your head at that point?
Yeah, so at that meet for USA's, normally, especially in the 800, there's normally something that happens in one of those first rounds. Honestly, I wasn't too surprised it was me, being the only high school kid in that race. But I think like a lot of things that my high school coaches taught me, always staying confident and patient, being able to know when I need to make a move in a race.
Mhm.
So whenever that stumble kind of happened, and I thought, oh, a lot of people may think, oh, the race is over. I can't really recover from that.
Right.
That's not really the way I think. I knew I was like, okay, definitely not something that I wish happened, but we're gonna try to work my way up throughout the race and try to get that top two finish.
I think the one thing that you have, and obviously, looking back at or thinking back to your um, coming in first in the 6A state finals as your freshman year, is that I don't know if I'm pretty sure you've seen the video of the commentary of, oh my God, look at him go right there at 200 left. You've always kind of had that kick, and I think I've heard you talk about you've tried to expand that kick to 300, right? Were you like, okay, I've just got to go? I can't wait. I can't wait to that 200. I got to go at 300 now that you're so far behind because of the trip.
Yeah, so I definitely have expanded my kick, to 300 to anywhere from 200 to 300. Just throughout, obviously in Texas, you have multiple rounds to get to your state meet,
Hmm.
and that's kind of where we practiced making those moves. So, and obviously with having the fall, I knew I couldn't wait till 200. So I went at 300. And then I kind of had another burst with 100 to go. I think always having that extra gear to make, be able to go a little bit faster than you might have thought you could is very important.
So getting to the final race, obviously the one where you finished an absolutely insane amount. I'm assuming that you watching your face as you come across the line. I don't know if you were more surprised by the number, by the fact that you just passed two of your heroes, or if it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that, just in general. Like, I think you actually mentioned from one thing I listened to was you don't even remember the last 50 or something of that nature, right? Um, so, what was it like? I guess what I'm thinking about is like all of a sudden mind blank and just go, right? When did you wake up? When did you go, oh my God?
Yeah, so that last 100 meters, everything kind of went black. I heard all the outside noise kind of from the crowd, and I saw everybody in front of me, and I was fastly working my way up behind them. That again, like I said, that last 10 to 20 meters, those last few steps, I don't really remember. And then obviously my hands went up. I felt like it kind of came back after about 5 to 10 seconds. Whenever I went over to one of the other competitors, came over to me. Bryce Hopper was also from Texas.
Right.
Gave me a hug. So that was a cool moment.
So, one or two more questions about the race. And just I guess not really about the race, but more about like afterwards, right? So now you're starting to hear people talk about, oh my God, world record, oh my God, what can he, whatever, right? How do you keep yourself grounded? How do you like, what do you do to keep yourself focused on your miles and just tomorrow, so to speak?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot of my parents and my brothers and my coach. They definitely keep me grounded very well, not making sure my head would get too big, which they've done a great job at. Also, just man, I guess really staying focused. I can only control what I can control, and obviously, nothing is ever guaranteed
Mhm.
in life, just in general. Just being grateful for what I've been able to do.
So the one thing so changing off of racing a little bit more towards Justin, obviously there's a connection there. But in regards to the city and how much like do you whenever we talked about running, yeah, I think I heard someone talk you talked about your week to week is like Sunday through or Monday through Sunday phrase. Whenever you're going out there and you're running your 5, 6, 2, are you doing it at a track? Or are you doing it around town? Are you being recognized if you're doing it around town?
A lot of during the summer in school, I have practice at the high school.
Mm.
Monday through Friday, I'm never really running around town. Or that Saturday, you might see me out occasionally, maybe for a shorter or longer run. But I wouldn't say I've been really recognized. I've seen a few friends maybe drive by before, but I think everything's kind of
Yeah, I think, just track and field is not, you know, the front, right? Not it's not doesn't catch the front page unless you do something stupid like a 1:42:27. But, so I'm kind of curious, like whenever you're going, do you go out of town or not out of town, but do you go out into Justin and do you do things, whether it be, to a restaurant or anything like that? Do you and your family go out to those things? And if so, have you been noticed?
yes, we definitely go all throughout Justin. I don't think I've really been noticed before,
Okay.
but like a lot of times, kind of going back to the running part, if I don't run, maybe then Justin, I'll maybe drive 10, 15 minutes to a really nice park or a trail
Mm,
that is just kind of around Justin.
that's cool. Um, so I wanted to talk to you about the murals in the town and all the cowboy murals. Have you seen them?
I believe I have.
So, is the city, have you been in conversations with the city or anything going, hey, look at me, 142:27. I think I deserve a mural.
I
Well,
have
has
not
anybody
yet.
talked to you about that?
They have not. No. That would be pretty cool though. But yeah, I have not been in contact with them. That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
So, school starts next week for you, Wednesday.
Yes, it does.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I've been ready to go back to school. Just because in school, one, it kind of gives you a planned schedule every day that you
Mhm.
have. Where the summer, it's just kind of do whatever you want, which I'm not the craziest fan of. I kind of like to have. Now, it is nice to get a little bit of a break from school, but
Sure.
I'm just kind of excited to go back and just see a lot of friends I haven't seen kind of summer. And yeah,
So, I guess one of my questions I was leading into is what do you think is going to happen your first day at school? Like not from the principal, but from your fellow classmates. Are you another kid in class?
Yeah, I think like you could maybe ask this question also last year after the state title that I'd won. I think a lot of times people may, I'm sure some people will come up to me, but it's also I'm just another student. Um, I just run track and I happen to have a really fast time. So
Just happened to have a really fast time.
I a lot of my good friends don't see me in that way. A lot of my teammates on the team don't see me in a way of I'm just known for track.
Mm,
They see me also as a really good friend,
right.
hopefully in their eyes.
Hopefully.
So yeah.
So, whenever you think of, especially in football, or I'm sorry, especially in Texas, and by the way, again, we were going to cut this up. I'm a football official. I'm a high school and college football official. That's what I do also on the side. So I might have actually seen you in eighth grade at one point. I don't know. But with football being so big here in Texas, how do you like rate in regards to like, does your school still consider the quarterback or the main defensive end as kind of the primary like big guy on campus, or is everybody walking around going, "Hey, there's Super Cooper"?
I don't know. They're definitely not calling me Super but obviously football being so big in Texas, I really enjoy it. I love going to every home game we have and the occasional away games, but football is just the best sport, and I'll tell you that. I enjoy football. I'd probably say, unless it's the Olympic Games, I'd probably say I'd enjoy watching football more than track a lot of times. So that doesn't really bother me, just because I'm one of the kids that loves the football side of the school.
Are you one of those kids inside of the student section that's screaming at the other team during games?
No, that's not me. I more just like to enjoy the game.
I understand. Um, let's see. So thinking back to your sophomore year, obviously you're about to start your junior year. What is going to be that one thing that sticks out?
This past sophomore year, man, that's a great question. Um, I would say just the sophomore year, I got a new coach at our school Northwest, and he's coached me throughout this entire sophomore year. So I would say just the first day he came in, he changed our running program a lot
Mm.
from my freshman to sophomore year. So, and obviously he'll do that for these next 2 years. So that was probably the most exciting part of this past year.
And so whenever let's fast forward Cooper to I don't know, let's put you at 35. You've retired. Say what you want to about your career. Do you think that this is going to stick out for you, or do you think that maybe some of those other events coming up is going to be a bigger event for you?
Yeah, I think this will be one of the most special ones just because it was the first one I've ever done, especially at such a young age.
Mhm.
So hopefully there will be bigger things that happen in the future. But I think like at this moment currently, this is probably the most I hold this race to my heart the most.
I'm assuming the Northwest is going to give you a send off. If they're not, there's a problem. But they're going to do a send off. Is there anything that we could do for you, whether it be I don't know. I don't know what it could be, but is there something that the residents could do for you?
No, I don't think so. I think they've done enough for me. I think maybe just obviously there was a lot of support this past weekend from the state of Texas and then also just from Justin. So just keeping that support going whenever Tokyo comes.
What do you do to relax? What do you what do you do to get away from it?
Boys, video games are a big thing I like to do. Um, hang out with my teammates because my teammates are my best friends. So like we're probably gonna go hang out at the pool tomorrow. Just simple things like that. Going out to eat with my family. I don't think there's really anything too crazy.
Okay. What's your game that you're playing right now?
Really, I haven't played in a little bit, but right,
Oh, you got nothing else going on, so why not? Like,
I would say probably NCAA 25, big college football guys.
did you get the 26 that just recently came out?
I have not. No, I need to
Okay.
get it done.
So from a city perspective, have they been in contact with you at all?
Not that I've seen, maybe with my parents,
Mhm.
but not that. No, I haven't gotten an email that I haven't checked recently. At least.
So is there anything else that you would like to say, at least to like the city or people of, or to your classmates or to anything like that?
It's just thank you for all the support from the school, West, and then to the people of Justin. This past weekend was very special. Also, just being able to represent the state of Texas and then also Justin. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, I appreciate your time. Obviously, every single time they talk about Cooper looking, and they're going to more. They mention the town of Justin. They mention Northwest ISD, or at least Northwest High School in Justin, Texas. So you might not be the most known name in Justin, but that's quickly changing, right? So I do appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.